Step into a home where soft blue and warm yellow meet like morning light touching old wood, and the atmosphere instantly feels tender, graceful, and lived in. This is the kind of vintage farmhouse charm that does not shout for attention, but gently invites you to slow down and breathe in the beauty. The palette feels like a quiet celebration of comfort, with each corner carrying a sense of history, sweetness, and timeless elegance. Distressed finishes, delicate fabrics, and cheerful accents create a scene that feels both nostalgic and inspiring, as though every object has a story waiting to be remembered. If you love decorating with soul, subscribe, like, and comment below to join this vintage journey, because every room in this home is about warmth, memory, and charming design. Together, we will explore how blue and yellow can turn simple spaces into a beautiful farmhouse story worth watching until the end. Blue and yellow create a harmony that feels almost like a memory of spring afternoons, where the air is soft and every detail seems touched by light. In a farmhouse setting, the blue settles the room with calmness while the yellow brings a gentle glow, making the space feel balanced and emotionally warm. When these colors are used with restraint, they do not compete. Instead, they support each other like old friends in a familiar home. The result is a layered look that feels elegant, airy, and deeply comforting, especially when paired with weathered wood and vintage patterns. The beauty of this palette lies in its ability to feel both fresh and timeless, as if the room were dressed for a quiet celebration of simple living. It is a style that welcomes sunlight, soft textures, and treasured objects, creating a home that feels complete without ever feeling crowded. The entryway is where the story begins, and in this farmhouse home, it feels like a gentle greeting wrapped in color and texture. A soft blue bench, a yellow floral arrangement, and a weathered mirror can turn the smallest space into a place that feels thoughtful, graceful, and deeply personal. There is something especially inviting about an entry that carries the marks of time without losing its beauty. A vintage basket, a worn runner, and a few carefully placed accessories create a sense of home that feels calm, collected, and quietly enchanting from the very first step. This is not just a passage into the house, but a first impression that whispers comfort and care. It sets the tone for everything that follows, letting guests feel the warmth of the home before they even reach the main rooms. In the kitchen, blue and yellow feel especially alive, as though the room itself has learned to smile. Soft blue cabinetry, yellow pottery, and warm wood details create a setting that feels bright yet refined, where every shelf and surface seems carefully chosen to hold both beauty and purpose. The charm comes from the balance between function and nostalgia, with open shelves, enamelware, and floral touches bringing a sense of lived-in elegance. Sunlight on the countertops makes the room glow softly, and the whole scene feels like a peaceful morning that never needs to hurry. This kitchen does more than serve meals, it shapes mood, memory, and connection. It becomes the heart of the home, where vintage details and cheerful colors come together to create a space that feels inviting, heartfelt, and timelessly farmhouse. The dining room becomes a stage for quiet elegance, where blue and yellow unfold across the table like a carefully arranged memory. A vintage tablecloth, worn wooden chairs, and delicate dishes create a feeling that is both graceful and deeply welcoming, as if every meal were meant to be remembered. There is a softness in the way the colors settle into the room, especially when paired with candlelight, floral centerpieces, and aged glassware. The space feels intimate without becoming heavy, offering the kind of atmosphere where conversation lingers and time seems to move a little more slowly. This is farmhouse dining at its most charming, where beauty is never separate from comfort. The room feels composed and soulful, a place where vintage details turn an ordinary gathering into something warm, tasteful, and quietly special. The living room welcomes the palate with a softer, more relaxed rhythm, where blue and yellow settle into the space like sunlight resting on a favorite chair. A faded sofa, textured pillows, and antique accents make the room feel layered and personal, as though it has been lovingly shaped over many years. The atmosphere is calm but not empty. It carries the warmth of lived-in comfort and the charm of things chosen with care. Each piece adds to a quiet sense of balance, allowing the room to feel elegant while still remaining approachable and deeply restful. In this setting, vintage farmhouse style becomes less about decoration and more about feeling. The room becomes a retreat where textures, color, and light work together to create a home that feels generous, thoughtful, and softly timeless. The bedroom softens the palette into something more restful, where blue quiets the senses and yellow adds just enough warmth to make the room feel alive. The result is a retreat that feels elegant and gentle, with vintage linens, aged wood, and delicate details creating a mood of peaceful comfort. This is the kind of space that seems to slow the world down the moment you enter. Soft layers, muted finishes, and carefully chosen decor bring a romantic farmhouse feeling that is both soothing and emotionally rich, like a story told in whispers. In the calm of this room, vintage charm becomes personal and intimate. The bedroom feels like a private cottage escape, one that holds both beauty and stillness, offering a quiet place to rest beneath the glow of timeless design. Shelving offers one of the loveliest places to express this palette, because small collections can feel full of personality without overwhelming the eye. Blue pottery, yellow florals, old books, and tiny framed pieces create a layered display that feels curated, graceful, and quietly nostalgic. The beauty of shelf styling lies in its gentle rhythm, where objects are arranged with enough breathing space to let each one shine. The room gains a sense of order and tenderness, as if every shelf were holding a small chapter of the home's history. When done well, cottage shelving becomes more than storage, it becomes atmosphere. The display feels personal and beautiful, drawing the eye with soft color, vintage texture, and a calm confidence that never feels forced. Floral accents bring the entire blue and yellow story to life, adding a softness that feels graceful, feminine, and quietly joyful. Whether they appear in a vase, a print, or a small embroidered detail, flowers connect the farmhouse palette to nature in a way that feels timeless and tender. The room begins to feel more romantic when blooms are layered into the decor, because they soften hard edges and add movement to the composition. In a vintage cottage setting, even the smallest floral gesture can make the home feel warmer, more thoughtful, and gently expressive. This is the kind of beauty that never feels overdone, because it belongs naturally to the home's mood. The floral touches quietly enrich the space, giving it a delicate sense of life, charm, and elegance that lingers in every corner. Rustic textures are what give the decor its soul, bringing depth, age, and authenticity to the soft blue and yellow palette. Distressed wood, woven baskets, faded linen, and worn ceramics make the room feel grounded, as though every surface has lived a meaningful life. These textures matter because they keep the look from becoming too polished or predictable. Instead, they create a comforting contrast against the gentle colors, allowing the space to feel honest, tactile, and beautifully imperfect in the best possible way. The farmhouse style becomes richer when the eye can move from smooth paint to rough wood, from soft cloth to aged stone. That mix of surfaces adds emotional warmth, turning the home into a place that feels layered, welcoming, and full of character. Seasonal styling allows the room to shift with the calendar while still holding on to its vintage identity. In spring, yellow feels bright and hopeful. In summer, blue turns breezy and fresh, and in cooler months, both colors can be softened with cream, wood, and heavier textures. This flexibility is part of what makes the palette so charming, because it can adapt without losing its character. The home remains elegant and cozy all year long, with small changes in textiles, flowers, and accents keeping the look alive and relevant. When a space evolves with the seasons, it feels cared for and deeply connected to daily life. That sense of gentle change gives the home a rhythm that feels natural, inviting, and beautifully timeless. As the story comes to a close, the blue and yellow farmhouse home leaves behind a feeling of quiet beauty and enduring comfort. Every room has offered a different expression of the same gentle idea, proving that vintage style can be both elegant and deeply personal. What remains is not just the color palette, but the atmosphere it creates, calm, nostalgic, and full of soul. It is the kind of home that lingers in memory because it feels honest, welcoming, and lovingly composed from one thoughtful detail to the next. If this vintage journey inspired you, subscribe, like, and comment below so we can keep sharing more soulful decor stories together. Your support helps this channel grow, and it keeps the beauty of timeless farmhouse design alive for every viewer who loves a home with heart.